The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, get ready for Chase to the Checkered. Well, it's no real surprise that rain screwed up racing last Saturday night. Trust me, we're just as tired of it as you are. But Jennerstown Speedway did get some racing in, and we have all the highlights. So quit your complaining and try to stay dry, because a rain-soaked edition of Chase to the Checkered starts now.
Don't look at me. Hello, this is Melissa Barron from Somerset and
Derek.
race fans, start your engines.
Race fans, start your engines.
Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Before the skies decided to once again rain on the Laurel Highlands Oval, 3 feature races were squeezed in between the raindrops. First up, the Jennerstown Speedway Street Stocks. The only driver other than Dink Colarusso to win a street stock feature at Jennerstown Speedway in 2003 is number 70, Todd Knight. He started on the pole and got out in front of the pack ahead of number 73, Roger Onstad, and number 76, Billy Mostaller. By lap 6, the top 4 were riding door-to-door for position. Number 73, Roger Onstad, used the inside line and got the front spot. But number 0, Dink Colarusso, was working his way up. A lap later, Colarusso got by Todd Knight, moving to second behind Onstad. It didn't take long for Colarusso to get alongside of Onstad. The two make contact, and Colarusso moves back behind the number 73. Like we've seen all year long, Colarusso used the inside line again, and this time he slipped by Onstad for the lead at the race's midway point. The laps would tick away, and number 0, Dink Colarusso, went on to win the street stock feature at Jennerstown Speedway. This was the 6th victory in 7 feature races for the West Mifflin driver.
Yeah, my hat's off once again to my crew chief, Ken Kunkel, my Uncle Mark, and Jay Steiner. Weather conditions this week. We weren't real good at first, and them guys, they hustled up, made a couple changes, and got us right back here for the weather tonight. I gotta say though, we paid some lumps to get to where we're at learning. This is an unbelievable season we're having right now.
Colarusso was followed by Roger Onstad, Billy Mostaller, Todd Knight, and Robert Smith in the top 5 finishers of the feature. In the Jennerstown Speedway Street Stocks points, Colarusso lengthened his lead over Roger Onstad by 2 more points. However, Onstad is just 14 points behind, and there is plenty of racing left to do in 2003. Jason Holder, Josh Dunmeyer, and Billy Mostaller round out the top 5 in points in the street stocks. Next up on C2C, the Jennerstown Speedway Charger Division. Number 24, Chantal Germick, shot out from the pole position to take the early race lead, while number 74, Phil Grubbs, and number 22, Dwayne Knoll, fought for second. Soon, Phil Grubbs came alongside of Chantal Germick to challenge for the lead. But Germick held the inside line and kept Grubbs at bay. The next lap, number 22, Dwayne Knoll, came up on Phil Grubbs' rear bumper to say, "Hello." On lap 8, the front was bunched up as they came into lap traffic. Number 22, Dwayne Knoll, squeezes in the middle, making it 3 wide for a moment. Knoll and number 74, Phil Grubbs, were door-to-door for second, with number 27, Greg Preisner, following right behind. The 3-way battle for second lasted the rest of the race, wowing the crowd at Jennerstown. But while Knoll, Grubbs, and Praisner fought it out in the pack, Chantal Germick shot out with the lead and went on to win the Jennerstown Speedway Charger feature last Saturday night. This was the second win of 2003 for North Huntington's Chantal Germick.
My dad is so proud of me, and my mom, she's so excited. She never thought I'd actually win a race. She thought I was just going to go out there and pretend like I was picking up groceries, but...
Sometimes we get 3 wide, side by side. Me and Haas there were side by side probably for the entire 15 laps, and when once was getting loose or pushing, we were letting off back and forth, and it turns into be a really good race.
We're running hard, you know. I mean, we ain't the late models, but we try to put a show on for the people. And we're, you know the guys will run you clean. If something happens, it's a racing accident, and you just go out and give it all you got.
That's what's really nice about this division is we can run like that. I mean, you could have probably threw a blanket over the top 4 of us, and I was back and forth, and I was waiting to make a move for someone to mess up, and it just didn't happen, so I had to settle for 4th.
Germick, Knoll, Grubbs, and Praisner were followed by Scott Bowman in the top 5 finishers in the Jennerstown Speedway Charger feature. In the Charger points, Chantal Germick continues to hold the top spot. 2 points separate second place Greg Praisner and third place Bill Grubbs in a tight race. Mike Stevens and Rick Phillips round out the top 5 point getters in the Jennerstown Speedway Chargers. Coming up on Chase to the Checkered, we're going to show you how you can make your dream of driving a late model stock car come true at Jennerstown Speedway. Plus, we've got all the highlights and post-race comments from a slippery Jennerstown Speedway modified feature. But first, it's time to see if you can fill in the gap. Presented by GapGuard.com. If you own a truck, you gotta check out GapGuard.com. Fill in the gap with the answer to this question. Neil Brown is on pace to win his 3rd consecutive late model division championship. Who is the only driver to win 3 consecutive late model division titles at Jennerstown? Is it Charlie Cragen, Steve Pellis, Glenn Galt, or Jeff Dunlap? We'll have the answer and so much more on Chase to the Checkered. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors. Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. What race fan hasn't dreamt of getting behind the wheel of a race car? Of feeling the excitement of punching the throttle and flying around the track? Well, at Jennerstown Speedway, you can make that dream come true. Thunder on the Mountain gives fans the opportunity to ride and drive a late model stock car around the Laurel Highlands Oval. Thunder on the Mountain is co-owned and operated by Stan Lasky. If you're looking for someone to show you the ropes, Stan's definitely the man. His father, Piney Lasky, owned Jennerstown Speedway for over 20 years. Stan's son, Jason, is the driver of the WAS 97.7 Pro Truck. But it's Stan that's behind the wheel of Thunder on the Mountain, and he has over 3 decades of experience in racing.
In 1972, it was actually the winter of my freshman year in college, and I think my father felt it was a way to keep a young college kid out of trouble, to be honest with you. But when I said I wanted to go racing, there were sprint cars and late models. That's all there was. And my mother would not hear of a sprint car, so I ended up in a late model. And we continued to dirt race on into 1985. And I won 3 track championships across that span and numerous features, 25+ feature events.
How did he come up with the idea to put together a driving experience like Thunder on the Mountain?
One of the old adages in racing promotion was, take the most restricted area and charge double for it, and people will pay to get in there. So with that in mind and kicking around a number of ideas for hot pit areas and so forth and everything, we stumbled across the idea of what would it take to put somebody in a race car. It's the Walter Mitty in everybody. They want to get behind the wheel of a race car. And there really was no way in actual competition to try and provide them the feeling of driving safely. And we stumbled into this thing, sort of, I guess. I mean, we had an idea what we wanted, but we were luckier at the right place at the right time when it came along.
The car is not new to Jennerstown Speedway. Last year, it bore the familiar number 07 and was driven by Jeff Dunmeyer in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. But it has other experience as well.
It is a Busch car. The basic suspension, cage, setup, and layout is entirely built around a Busch or Hooters Pro Cup car. There are two major differences between this and a Busch car. One being the engine. The engine in this one is a Chevrolet, what's known as a Chevrolet ZZ4 crate motor. This is a motor that produces 355 horsepower. The other big difference is the body. Hooters and Busch both mandate a steel body. We replaced it with a 5-star flange fit ASA style body. So it is a 2003 Monte Carlo, and if you see ASA racing on TV, this is the body style you will see them using. They're the same exact body you see them using in ASA racing.
The experience of Thunder on the Mountain begins in a classroom setting with up to 6 drivers to a course. 2 courses are held on Thursday at Jennerstown Speedway and begin with a discussion about the history of the Speedway, the car itself, and the numerous safety precautions. Stan takes the drivers for a ride around Jennerstown Speedway in a passenger car, explaining driving techniques. The drivers ride with Stan driving the race car for a few laps, while he again describes the driving techniques.
And as long as we both feel comfortable with that, I'm going to jump out and you're going to take 10 laps on your own. After we get through the entire class of that, then I'm going to jump back in the driver's seat, you're going to jump in that passenger seat, and we're going to do 2 laps at qualifying speed right to the wall. I promise you, your nose will feel the wall go by.
In addition to providing race fans with a fun way to experience racing, Thunder on the Mountain is also another feather in the cap for Jennerstown Speedway.
I don't know hardly any race fans that come up in the stands that wouldn't just love to have that chance to jump behind the wheel one time because they think they can do so much with a race car. So this is going to add a whole new element and give them a whole new feel for what it's really like to get out there on a Saturday night and make those cars do what they're doing. You know, the average guy that's going to come up here, guy or gal that's going to come up here and jump in this car, is going to be out there alone on the track. And they're going to realize just how difficult it is to drive that car, how close to the wall you get, how much concentration it takes. Then they can start to envision what it's like when you have a field of 25 cars starting at the line, and you've got to go into turn 1 at 90 miles an hour, 6 inches away from the car beside you. So it's going to, I think it's going to make them appreciate the drivers a lot more.
Okay, race fans, let's go for a ride. Strap down your TV because here we go. Here's your chance to do a lap around Jennerstown Speedway. Does that convince you that this is something that you should check out?
The driving experience itself for the 2.5 to 3 hours that you'll be here with us that day will cost you $300. If you care to schedule, again, we do this every Thursday throughout the summer. Obviously, if there are groups that want to come in on another day and there's enough people to do it, we're available other days of the week too. But right now, scheduling is on Thursdays with a 10 a.m. session and a 2 p.m. session.
For reservations or for more information about Thunder on the Mountain, contact Jennerstown Speedway at 814-629-6677. Coming up on C2C, we'll tell you what's coming up at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Plus, we have the highlights from a slippery Jennerstown Speedway modified feature. But first, let's see if you can fill in the gap. Presented by GapGuard.com. Who is the only driver to win 3 consecutive late model division titles at Jennerstown? Is it Charlie Cragen, Steve Pellis, Glenn Galt, or Jeff Dunmeyer? We'll have the answer when we come back to Chase to the Checkered. Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Now, let's see if you could fill in the gap. presented by GapGuard.com. If you want a pickup truck, you gotta get to GapGuard.com. Who is the only driver to win 3 consecutive late model division titles at Jennerstown? Is it Charlie Cragen, Steve Pellis, Glenn Galt, or Jeff Dunmeyer? What did you guess? Jeff Dunmeyer was the track champion at Jennerstown Speedway in 1995, 1996, and 1997. Steve Pellis was the late model champ in 1989 and 1990. Glenn Galt was the division champ in 1991 and 1992. And Charlie Cragen was Jennerstown Speedway's late model division champ in 1993 and 1994. Now, on to the highlights of the Jennerstown Speedway Modifieds. When the green fell, number 1 Mike Bacalon shot out with the lead ahead of number 42 Jason Bush. On lap 4, number 31 Matt Smith gets a little loose, and number 37 Paul Urso helps him to get around. Number 60 Bob Bentz and number 77 Brian Stevenson pile on. Let's take a second look at that one. Turn up the volume and listen to the impact. Luckily, no driver was hurt, but it reduced the already small field of modifieds down to just 5 cars and got Bob Bentz Jr. a little hot under the collar. On the restart, number 42 Jason Bush captured the lead from number 1 Mike Bacalon. Then number 60 Bob Bentz Jr. came up to take second. Soon, Bentz used the outside line to get by Jason Bush. Mike Bacalon followed him, sending Bush to third. But when Matt Smith tried to get by, he got into the back of the number 42, sending Jason Bush spinning on the backstretch. On the restart, number 60 Bob Bentz Jr. again got ahead of number 1 Mike Bacalon. Number 31 Matt Smith was once again on the tail of number 42 Jason Bush, but this time it would be Smith that gets spun around. Then on lap 19, the rain started and claimed both number 31 Matt Smith and number 42 Jason Bush in turns 3 and 4. As the race was ended due to rain, many crew members voiced their opinion to the flagman and other race officials. They felt the race should have been stopped sooner. Number 60 Bob Bentz Jr. went on to win the rain-shortened modified feature. Bentz was followed by Mike Bacalon, Matt Smith, Jason Bush, and Paul Urso in the top 5.
Car's fast, got a little mad tonight, get a little energy going there, but sometimes people need to use their heads a little bit out here.
On the last couple laps it was raining, so I mean that's one of the reasons that Matt hit the wall. Unfortunately, they didn't stop it soon enough before he wrecked. But hey, it's really a contact sport, it's racing.
Yeah, you know what, it was rough out there. The rains came, we all should have known to slow down a little bit. But the officials should have known to throw the flag, that yellow flag out there.
Well, I know that's exactly what happened tonight because Bob Bentz came over to me, one of the modified drivers, and said we should have called it a lap earlier. When I was walking through the pits and felt the rain, he called it immediately. So it's one of those deals where the race director wasn't getting any rain, the flagman wasn't getting any rain, we didn't know. So we called it as quick as we could.
In the modified points, Mike Bacalon holds on to his lead. He's just 6 points ahead of Paul Urso. Matt Smith, Jason Bush, and Bob Bentz Jr. round out the top 5 in points. Coming up tonight at Jennerstown Speedway, fans will be treated to 2 25-lap features of the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks, plus 50 laps of the Rolling Rock late models, the PA Legacy Series, and so much more. Adult admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under get in for free. Next week at the Laurel Highlands Oval, it's fireworks night. Jennerstown Speedway will be rocking the mountains with the roar of the engines and the sights and sounds of fireworks. Adult admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under get in for free. I'm Steve Richard. Thanks for watching Chase to the Checkered. Be sure to tune in next week. Better yet, we hope to see you tonight and every Saturday night at Jennerstown Speedway.